facing, and he knew shit bad for him. Pray for the best with him, hope for the best. And he even had a few more mishaps in between with the baby mom and all that stuff. He got past all that.
Like to prison, trips to jail, getting arrested does not look good for you. And the fact that you've similar charges in the past and videos and other arrests, it just don't look good. Like almost like a repeat offender.
This domestic violence, his hands are considered deadly weapons.
Right.
So he is going to be considered like assault with a deadly weapon other than domestic violence.
Is it over?
Gervonta Davis's future in boxing hangs by a thread as his legal troubles continue to mount, casting a long shadow over a once promising career. Despite previously acknowledging his behavioral issues and expressing a need for therapy, Davis now finds himself entangled in yet another wave of
right. So Tank is on probation for violation of his probation. So this will be about. He's a celebrity. Going to happen. It's going to get a slap on the wrist. He has money and stuff like that. Now the question I have is this: what's going to happen with the Lamont Roach? Rematch? Will that still go on? Do you get what I'm saying? Now, I don't expect Tank Davis fans they're going to brush it off like it ain't nothing because that's what they literally, a lot of them worship this guy. And I get it, I understand. However, will that fight still go on? Probably why we haven't heard anything. I was listening to Blue Blood Sports TV, but then when I was listening to his video, guess what? Y'all something. Now, some of y'all may say, oh, this is nothing. Podcasts that I watch all the time, Ticket TV, watch a lot of the big podcasts, right? I want y'all to see something. Y'all see this right here. Let me show y'all this. As you can see right here, Ticket TV is talking about this. And the title is this: Breaking News, Boxing Superstar Gervonta Tank Davis arrested for beating up women. Beating up women.
In professional sports, public figures are held to a high standard of behavior both on and off the field, and for Gervonta Davis, recent events have once again spotlighted his personal struggles, particularly involving the mother of his child. As a prominent athlete, every action is magnified, and even non-physical confrontations can quickly become major controversies. When a figure of his stature appears to misuse influence or power outside the ring, public scrutiny intensifies. Given the recurring nature of these incidents and the individual's
bodily harm to her, Davis was arrested about an hour after the alleged incident and on a domestic violence battery charge. Jail records show he's still in police custody. Davis is scheduled to Hector Luis Garcia in a much-anticipated match on January 7th in Washington, D.C.
Well, that's not happening. I mean, it's not going to happen. He's not going to fight. The fight's going to cancel in his sponsorship. If he fought, I mean, you can't find out. But I'm assuming he's a lawyer. He has money.
Do we know who the woman is? Because I saw some headlines that said baby mama. I know what we just read didn't it wasn't
that's what I said too.
Like yesterday, right? When the report.
And that's not even just a domestic violence. His hands are registered deadly weapons. Right. He is going to be considered like with a deadly weapon as well, other than domestic violence. Right. And that never goes good for a boxer, ever.
To be domestic violence, though, one thing that fought me suspect is that it says domestic violence, somebody that you were in a relationship with.
You didn't know that?
Over the years, Gervonta Davis has faced multiple incidents that have challenged both his reputation and his ability to compete at the highest level. In the past, financial resources and strong legal support helped him weather these storms with minimal impact on his career. However, the current situation feels more serious, largely due to the growing pattern and frequency of similar issues. With each new incident, authorities are more likely to factor in his history, potentially leading.
Of course, he's chasing that rematch with Lamont Roach and that big money Netflix fight with Paul. And this case could potentially cancel these fights. Rematch for the Roach, it's just kind of been this fight is happening in mid-August. Everyone has seemed to acknowledge that happening, yet there's been no announcement. Why official announcement? Maybe they were/are waiting to see what happens with the case. They have known that this was gonna probably come out, so maybe they were either bracing for impact or hoping it could be all sorted out. But we're now about a month out from the proposed rematch, and time is running out. Every day by, it looks less and less, and the news today certainly won't instill any. Even if the rematch does happen, the conditions are about as bad as they can get for Tank. He won't be the highest pressure fight of his career, he won't have a camp, and would have legal proceedings hanging his head. Combine this with the fact that he's rattled and emotional after the draw. It's either a combination for a great performance, or a combination for an absolute train crash.
Moments like these often serve as mirrors for reflection, and many believe this could be a defining phase in Davis's life. While adversity has the potential to foster growth and wisdom, there is growing concern that previous lessons may not have been fully embraced. Observers have noted that despite past experiences, there has been little visible change in his approach or behavior. The recurrence of similar incidents only reinforces that perception. Without
facing, and he knew shit could get bad for him. Of course, he prayed for the best with, hope for the best. Even had a few more mishaps in between with the baby mom and all that type of shit, but he got past all that. But that shows his maturity level too, because he kept his head together through all that shit. So, I mean, here we at the finishing line with the trouble. I just want him to finish smart and, do what he got to do. Do what he got to get, you know what I mean?
Given the repeated nature of the charges, the legal outlook is becoming increasingly precarious. When an individual faces similar allegations more than once, it often prompts the court to consider more assertive measures. Legal experts and commentators suggest that, if the evidence supports the claims, the judge in this case may choose to impose stricter consequences. The existence of prior incidents could diminish any leniency that might have been offered previously. In the world of
boxing champion Gervonta Davis has been arrested and charged with battery in South Florida. Police allege the Baltimore native assaulted his ex-girlfriend during an argument on Father's Day in Doral, Florida. Davis was and booked by Miami Beach Police. A judge set his bond at $10,000. This is the latest in a long line of run-ins with law enforcement for the World Association lightweight champ. In 2023, Davis pleaded guilty to 4 traffic offenses in connection with a hit that injured 4 people in Baltimore. He spent more than 6 weeks in jail after a judge found out he was his home detention at the Four Seasons Hotel Baltimore and a penthouse condo in Locust Point. Davis has also previously allegations of domestic violence, though none of those cases against him resulted in convictions. We have more on this story on thebaltimorebanner.com.
Some within the boxing community believe that the intense expectations and pressures of professional competition are beginning to take a deeper toll on Davis. The demands of rigorous training, constant public scrutiny, and the need for unwavering mental sharpness leave little space for emotional equilibrium. For a young athlete juggling the weight of fame and personal stress, the overwhelming spotlight may be clouding his judgment. Supporters
Gervonta Davis just got arrested for domestic violence, but this isn't the time either. This has anything to do with what it does to your brain. Let's talk about it. So Gervonta Davis has been legal and domestic violence multiple times over years. The boxers take repeated hits to the head, not just during their big, but while they're throughout training camp as well. Over time, that can cause CTE, a brain disease that messes memory, emotions, and can cause CTE can show a form of slurred speech or even mood. So honest question for y'all is, do you think Davis' violence out of the ring could be linked to CTE? Is this a hidden cause of boxing? I want to hear your thoughts.
Public opinion is often shaped by patterns, and this case is no exception. Many fans and observers have expressed disappointment over the recurring challenges in Davis's personal life. Their concern extends beyond the incidents themselves to the ongoing choice to maintain connections that have previously led to serious consequences. From a career management perspective, long-term personal associations must be evaluated carefully, especially when they consistently result in damaging headlines and legal troubles. Such decisions.
Gervonta Davis is back on the news, and y'all know I'm a fan, but at this point, dude, I can't even support this guy. Gervonta Davis arrested at 5 a.m. in the morning in Miami for battery and domestic charges. I've seen stuff like this from taking everybody try to look past it, but dude, what are we doing? Got everything in the world, all the money, mega fights, got all the money, about anything ever in the rest of your life. Why are we doing this? Like, I understand he's from a tough background, but at some point you gotta grow up. You arguably the biggest name in boxing. All these people looking up to you, especially kids looking up to you, talking about, I want to be like Gervonta Davis. And this is what they see. I don't know what went down, but I see the news article and I just can't support Tank. My favorite damn one of them besides Terrence Crawford. But I don't know about the whole situation. I'm just like, man, what are we doing? I guess we're not gonna get the fight now. I don't know. I know he was on probation and it was gonna be another great fight. And it's just crazy. But what do y'all think about this? And you guys think he actually did it? And are you guys still gonna support Tank after this?
Gervonta Davis has previously expressed a desire to be more than just a champion in the ring. In interviews, he has spoken about his goal to mature personally and be a strong, consistent presence in his child's life. At times, he has even hinted at the possibility of retirement, suggesting a preference for a quieter, more peaceful life away from the pressures of the sport. Although those thoughts have not been confirmed recently, the current situation could provide.
Crown Jewel from Crown Jewel Boxing, back with a gym. Checked out the press conference today. watched the Rodcast, 2 days ago, watched the Rodcast response to it yesterday. And I just have to say, I see a lot of people think that, Tank is bluffing with the retirement talk. Could be. I doubt it, though. And I'm going to tell you why I doubt it. When he talks on therapy, and the person he has to be in order to be the fighter that he wanting to be a softer person, for his daughter, wanting to seek therapy, a better person to be with his children and lead a limelight. It seemed like a lot of passion in that. He seemed like he really meant what he was saying. There's a lot with not only boxing, though, because, all fighters deal with certain things with being a boxer, physically and mentally. But he has to deal with a celebrity, an international star on top of that. And I can't even imagine that pressure. So, things get old, your whole life, no matter what moves he makes, it's going to be accepted by some and, ridiculed by others. And some people grow tired. Living a public life ain't for everybody. He's been tremendously successful, whatever he decides to do. I wish him well. I think we need to, watch this Lamont fight closely because we've seen this. Mike Tyson talks about his heart no longer being in it, or your buddy McGirt recently come out and say he left him, while he was in camp in the middle of a run. I mean, it happens, and we don't know how it's going to affect him as a fighter. I would hope, he could find it in himself to be motivated, prepared, and be the best version of himself. Because I don't want to see him in the ring any other capacity. If he can't bring himself to be the best version of himself, then I think he should. But regardless of what he decides to do for people like myself,
Analysts have begun openly questioning whether the long-term relationship between Davis and the mother of his child is truly healthy for either of them. Over the past 4 years, their connection has been at the center of multiple high-profile legal matters, leading to ongoing challenges that disrupt the stability of both their lives. When a relationship repeatedly causes public and professional turmoil, it naturally becomes a concern, not just for family, but also for advisors and those.
Boxing sensation Gervonta Davis has been arrested on domestic violence charge. And the first time that he has been here, I'm not sure if it's the same young lady, her name is Vanessa, who he shares a daughter with, and I believe she was carrying another child with him. The situation is just sad because, when you're a boxer, your hands are legal. So you're not supposed to be getting into brawl fights with anybody unless you're in the ring. His hands are considered legal. And if you ever fight, you know that this boy hard. So him female, it's like, whoa. But yet again, we don't know people's situations. Even though it's never okay female, we just don't know what happened between folks. I think that after this, he should just leave that girl alone because with her again, this is the second time that he's arrested for domestic dispute with girl. And I just don't think they should be together. Somebody that's with you to bring the best out of you, not the worst. If you're constantly in a situation where you're fighting, putting your hands, you feel like with somebody that maybe that person. But prayers for Gervonta, because even though it's wrong, you don't know what wars, demons people are fighting inside, and you could clearly see that he's upset. If there's more on the story, I will be relating, but this just sucks for Gervonta. It's like he has the money, the fame, biggest boxer in the game now, but he's always in legal problems, especially for domestic issues. This is just sad.
As the next hearing approaches, many within the industry are watching with concern. The repeated nature of similar incidents has cast a shadow over Davis's professional credibility. In boxing, where image and personal conduct are crucial for securing fights and attracting sponsorships, recurring legal issues can become significant long-term obstacles. With each new event, the public narrative becomes increasingly difficult to separate from his
transpired. I don't know any details. This is the information that is available to us as of recording. So again, I'm saying unfortunate because Tank Davis is scheduled fight, and he's scheduled in 11 days, and it's almost midnight my time, standard time. So that really 10 days. Does this affect in any way? Will this affect Tank Davis and his fight? I don't know all the details, but we've seen stuff like this happen before, and since it's so fresh, today being December 27th, I don't think it will impact or bonus fight or anything like that, because it'll be too quick to go to trial. Anything like however, some would wonder, could this affect him mentally, right? Mayweather Promotions, you're your own boss, doing your own thing, so this is your first foray into that. You have a difficult Olympian in terms of Hector Luis Garcia, getting ready to fight, a little bit taller and bigger than, and now you have something in the background. This, I can't say it's to Gervonta Davis. him having little run-ins because he had a run-in, some vehicular hit and run.
In the days leading up to his latest controversy, Davis was active on social media, posting messages that hinted something significant was on the horizon. His tone was reflective, as if he was anticipating the outcome before it became public. While some interpreted these posts as an attempt to share his state of mind or circumstances, others saw them as a preempted defense in the court of public opinion. Social media has increasingly become a platform where athletes try to shape their own narrative.
Locked up again, my people. He posted about his lawyer. Still haven't helped me with my case. Shit, he might post it. Like I done body somebody. I can't. The last time I went to court, city trying to find me for 25K. Damn, 25K? You do, my boy. And if they treat you like somebody, then you definitely get up, my boy. Must be what Lamont Roach was trying to tell us when he said Davis will cancel the fight. He said, laugh out loud. Buddy, no, damn well, I don't mess around. He gassing y'all up to justify do his part of the deal. Yeah, he really might stay tuned. What he meant about Gervonta Davis pulling out the fight because he might be getting locked up, my people. He got this court problems that he has to resolve, so he hasn't even done his part yet. He's doing talking on Instagram. He's doing all the talking on. This is what Lamont Roach saying. He's doing all the talking everywhere else, but it justify the reason that he might even show up to the fight. He might have to pull out and cancel that fight, my people. We all know Gervonta Davis has had several legal issues, you feel me? Allegedly. People. Hopefully, this ain't one, because in boxing, I don't know if we really care about that. Fight happen, you feel me? We don't care all the shenanigans. So all I'm saying is that hopefully he ain't getting locked up. We want to see that rematch. And we don't want nobody getting locked up. You know what I'm saying? You in the ring. We want you to get that get back. And if he don't get that get back, his excuse, he trying to go to jail. Don't be posting about online, my boy. Do what you gotta resolve that and get back and do this rematch with Lamont Roach. But this is upset for everybody if it ends up being canceled because he has to go to court or he has to go back to getting locked up. Or he gotta pay some type of fine something, my people. And Lamont Roach kind of hint that for me. He let us know. Yo, my man talking. He ain't do his part yet, and it's been a couple months, and everybody's saying for sure. But how Lamont Roach saying that going and do the other part of the deal? How does that even happen?
That's today's video. Stay tuned. Until next time.